When we talk about addiction, we almost always associate it with something negative, something that traps, consumes, drains. Addiction to phones, addiction to social media, addiction to shows, games, quick dopamine, addiction to things that start small but slowly take control. And the most curious part is that the world treats all of this as completely normal. Spending hours scrolling without noticing time pass normal. Sleeping late because just one more episode normal. Waking up tired, anxious, with a racing mind. But try saying that you enjoy reading the Bible, that you miss it when you spend a day without opening the Word, that you find direction, comfort, and truth there. Berikikli, labels aper, fanatic, extreme, alienated, addicted to religion. But what if the problem was never addiction itself, but what we choose to be addicted to? The world calls addiction anything that dominates you, anything you feel you can't live without. But the Bible presents a completely different kind of dependence. While the world's addictions imprison, the Word of God sets free. Jesus was direct and unmistakable in John 8:32. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. He didn't say the truth distracts. He didn't say the truth numbs. He said the truth sets free. And that truth isn't hidden. It is right, accessible, alive. Still, how often do we say, I don't have time to read the Bible? Yet we have hours for everything that doesn't transform anything. The problem was never lack of time. The problem is where our attention goes. Because what feeds your mind shapes your soul, and what shapes your soul defines your life. There is something spiritual here that many people ignore. The enemy doesn't need to make you deny God's existence. He only needs to keep you busy enough that you never hear Him deeply. A spiritually distracted person is a vulnerable person without discernment, without clarity, living on autopilot. But a person filled with the Word carries something different. They think differently. They respond differently. They see differently. That's why the addiction to distraction is so effective. It doesn't destroy everything at once. It wears you down little by little, stealing silence, sensitivity, and spiritual hunger. When someone begins to become addicted to the Word, something changes inside out. Thoughts start to be confronted. Old lies are exposed. Anxieties that once seemed normal lose their grip. Fears that used to dominate begin to be questioned. Why? Because the Bible is not just a book. It's not religious information. It is a tool of transformation. Hebrews 4:12 says that the Word of God is living and active. It doesn't just teach, it examines. It doesn't just comfort, it corrects. It doesn't just inspire, it cuts away what needs to be removed. It is the only book that, when you open it, it's not just you who reads, it's you who are read. It reveals intentions, exposes escapes, reorganizes priorities. I've seen this happen countless times. People trapped in real, destructive addictions, alcohol, pornography, drugs, toxic relationships didn't overcome because they became stronger, but because they changed their source. The time that was once spent destroying themselves began to be used to rebuild themselves. At first, it was hard. The silence was uncomfortable. The mind restless. But then it became a necessity, not out of fear of God, not out of religious obligation, but out of hunger. Where there was once guilt, emptiness, and confusion, peace, direction, and hope began to grow. And this raises an uncomfortable question. What if what's missing in your life? Isn't more motivation, that more a word. Imagine waking up and, before diving into notifications, hearing God's voice before absorbing the world's anxiety, absorbing truth. Because in the end, that's what the Word is, food. Jesus said in Matthew 4:24, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. Without bread, the body weakens. Without the Word, the soul grows sick. Maybe someone will laugh at you. Maybe they'll call you extreme. Maybe they'll say, you're going too far. Let them. It is better to be dependent on what produces life than to be enslaved to distractions that only numb pain. So here's the challenge. Allow yourself this addiction. Open the Bible with intention. Read slowly. Read honestly. Don't look only for promises, allow yourself to be confronted. Don't read to confirm what you already think. Read to be transformed. Don't open the Bible just to keep a habit. Let it shape your thoughts, reorient your decisions, and strengthen your spirit. Because this is the only addiction that does not destroy, does not imprison, and does not kill. This is the addiction that sets you free, and someone who is truly free will never again accept living superficially. I hope to meet you on the great day. May God continue to bless you. With brotherly love, Minutes of Grace.